Today, I want to talk to you about mental health. Mental health in the century, in the decade, and in the year of 2020. What is the history on mental health and on mental illness? It's been a taboo. It's been something that's been hidden. It's been something that's a secret, and it's been something to be ashamed of. Historically, it has been institutionalized, lobotomized, and medicated. It actually has its history in hysteria and was sexist against women who were over-labeled, and also sexist against men who were under-supported because of the socializations for men to be strong. We want it to be less about weakness and more about strength and courage. We want it to be less about shame and more about healthy vulnerability. We want it to be less about an excuse and more about truth with real reasons and real symptoms. We want it to be less about embarrassment and more about acknowledging that it's about the discomfort of our own problems. And finally, we want it to be less about failure and more about real struggles with having the wrong strategies. But I see the stigma about mental health reducing. People are prepared to get real. And there is a real turn happening out there. There's more in the media about emotional issues. There's better insurance coverage for people seeking therapy. And there's better accommodations happening in schools and universities and colleges as well as workplaces. Tony Soprano made therapy sexy. I remember after The Sopranos was on the air, I started to see an increase in the number of adult men who were showing up in my office for therapy. Who didn't remember the opening scenes of The Sopranos that opened every time with Tony in his therapist's office dealing with some kind of issue or another? That show, I think, not only started to normalize therapy, but it got us to love the bad guy and so associate with some of the struggles, not all of them, but some of the struggles Tony was having. So if Tony can do it, if Tony can go into therapy, then why can't I? Mean to be downplaying or simplifying the seriousness of mental health issues. I understand. We have genes that we were born with. We have personality traits that we were also born with. And for most of us, we've had some type of negative influences in our life that often go back many, many years that have affected us in serious ways. That all of these factors can work together to pull us down, pull us out, and pull us apart and create real problems and real symptoms that sabotage us in one way or another. So let's face it, don't we all deserve the opportunity to figure ourselves out, to have the opportunity to heal and recover from the root causes that may be at the base of a lot of the problems we're having, while at the same time getting some real strategies so that we can make real changes that are going to get us to maximizing our potential. Thanks for listening.